everything. The way I walk, the way I breathe. Will my fate shift into the night? But here I am, same old thing. Thinking deep, no ecstasy. Reality haunts the living mind. If I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, sticking up without the same escape. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
Yo, guys, it is Old Man G here, back again. I'm back with a live match review. It's a bit late, it's 9:30. But remember, guys, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter and X, smash the notification button for latest Manchester United news. I've been doing these a while. I've got quite busy recently, so I'm not going to be doing these lives as frequently. You probably noticed I've done more reactions to matches, and I'll be doing more of that, and I'll still be doing that. But a lot of the live show sort of stuff is going to be a bit cut down, at least until June. And then from kind of mid-June onwards, I'll rank up the live stuff again, probably covering stuff like, I think, the Euros, AFCON, etc. As I did a quick poll, obviously, on my channel regarding content. And obviously, the majority of you, I think about 43%, still want this channel to be focused directly on Manchester United content, and I will be doing that. And we've been getting some good views recently, but more than half of you did want to look at other stuff. So what I'm going to do to kind of balance both books is kind of, obviously, this is a United channel, first and foremost, and we are going to lean towards that. But the Red Devil Live podcast will hopefully be back, which will incorporate that. And then I will be doing probably more reaction-like videos to other teams in the league, in the Premier League, in the Serie A, for example, and then maybe key match previews for certain big games that are coming up that they'll be interesting, and probably cover a lot more tournaments as well. So because, you know, I'm a football fan first and foremost. I love United. I'm a football fan first and foremost. I love good football. Let's look at the comments, guys. Adam shouts. Adam, hopefully you're doing well, buddy. Hi, Ad. It says must win. Come on, United. And Cavani is going to sign a contract. I need to start uploading. You do, Adam. You do. And I will support you when you upload. But yeah, that is good, actually. Before we actually even go into this preview, I think that is a good place to start with regard to Cavani. It seems to be reported. I was actually going to post a video later, but I actually wanted official confirmation first, you know. So, and also I was doing this, so I didn't think I'd have time. But yeah, actually, Cavani, it looks like Cavani will be signing a new contract with Manchester United, well, essentially an extension for another year, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's what we need. It also means that we can actually prioritize, in my opinion, other essential signings in the summer, i.e., you know, we need a centre back, we need a defensive midfielder, we need a right winger. Those are the three areas that we need to strengthen. Although, to be honest, the key areas to me are centre back and DM. However, United's recent events tell me, especially the renewal of Eric Bay's contract, that we're not. And I think that if you're going to tell me what business United are going to be doing over the summer, it's going to be simply this, because we have depth in midfield. Is Van der Beek going to leave? Is Tellers going to push? I don't know. But to be honest, it's going to be Sancho. I think that the news that Cavani's now potentially going to extend his contract, I think you're probably going to see United's efforts going to signing Sancho, which we should have done last summer, and then I think that'll be that. I can't see us signing us a centre back, and I can't see us signing any more midfield players. We don't seem to be linked to anybody. Literally, the only people there was rumours of Haaland and Kane. That was bogus. It was always bogus. We always wanted a Cavani. So really, the only thing that people United looking at is a right wing in Sancho, actually. So shout out to Damien in the chat. Thank you, Damien. Thank you, Damien. Remember, guys, remember to like the vid, share. It really does go a long way. It's also good that when I go live, that people come in and tune in. You know, I generally do appreciate it. Shout out to Rich Sports as well. Thank you so much. And guys, if you guys are watching, please head over and support Rich's channel. It's grown really big in the last. I mean, since I've known Rich was. Well, I mean, how many months back? Was it beginning of this year? And I saw it from, you know, it was obviously we had a show. He was on. We did a 100% Manchester United thing. And to be honest, since then his channel's gone from strength to strength. So road to 1K, road to 1K, road to 1K. Let's get him there. Leicester trying their best to bottle top four. This league, man. So apparently Johnny Evans has scored. So it's 1-1. So Evans has leveled it up. So so that's fine. United don't have to worry about top four either. And this actually comes onto the preview, Rich, actually, because where is it? And this comes actually to the preview because in the title of this, I basically said like it's time to finish them off. It's time to finish it, and by that I mean Liverpool. Because Liverpool, and I'll sort of get the table up here. I think it's worth seeing the table right now, just to show you where we are. So this is the Premier League table as we speak. Everyone can see that. Go back to that. Yes. Okay. So here's the table right now. Obviously, City are going to win the league. We're 10 points behind City. No chance of catching up. It is what it is. Although our recent form has been really good. I generally like. When was the last time Manchester United lost a league game? When was the last time we lost? See, this is a good thing, though. Whatever you say about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when you're like, oh, he's crap, he's bad, it's like, but how many games do we actually lose? Like, the last time I remember us losing a game was against Sheffield United in January. And we're now going into May. Like, literally, have we even lost for like 5 months? Meanwhile, Arsenal, the last time they lost was yesterday. You know what I mean? Levels, especially those fans who are literally like, oh, yeah, Arteta is better than Ollie. Give me strength. Ollie has shown that he's miles, leaps ahead of better than Arteta. Anyway, so looking at the league table right now, and this is why it's important. Obviously, United are going to be finished second. You know, I think that if we beat Liverpool at Old Trafford, I think that pretty much can, because there's only 5 games to go. Bear in mind, there's only 5 games to go, and that means that there's 15 points. So if you look at fifth, we are, if I can correct that, 15. West Ham have got 55, not 60. So that's 12 points ahead. So basically, you know, there are only 15 points left. So if Manchester United win and West Ham lose or draw points, etc., or draw anything, then basically we've secured European qualification. There's no way that, you know, West Ham will. The basis is it's not going to be possible. We're in Champions League. We know we are anyway, but it's just confirmation. The key thing is Liverpool here, and I think that if you're a Liverpool fan, Liverpool, if they have any chance, because they are 4 points from Chelsea right now, and they are, is that 9? I think that's 9 points from Leicester. So that's a lot. I mean, a lot. So if Liverpool have any shot of wanting to obviously get into the top 4. They need to obviously beat us at Old Trafford, which they haven't done, for, I don't know, maybe since Moyes. And that was when Phil Jones was a centre-back. And even when Phil Jones has been playing a centre-back, we've still been fine. But yeah, they need a win. And if they don't, for me, I think that's Liverpool's top 4 chances over. I think because Chelsea, although Chelsea have a much harder run compared to everyone else in the top 5, so I don't think you can rule them out. But if Chelsea were to beat Fulham at the weekend, which put them onto 61 points, Can Liverpool really get 7 points and make up 7 points and then some in the last 4 games? I don't think so. So I think that this basically finishes Liverpool's top 4 aspirations and confine them potentially to the UEFA Conference League, which it's got a catchy anthem, by the way. It's got a very, very catchy anthem, the UEFA Nations League. Let's quickly look at some of your comments, guys. We need to be we need to help them by beating Liverpool. We do. No mercy at all, man. No mercy. Imagine last night with a quality CDM. Yeah, man. I mean, imagine last night with a right winger, to be honest, because in that first half, like, I know Rashford's injured. We don't disrespect Rashford, but he didn't play that great. He really didn't. So if you put a Sancho there, or even Greenwood to even lesser extent, to be honest, we would have been home and dry in the first half. But yes, a good quality CDM, like, Bay is obviously injury prone, but you guys know my opinion on Bay. If Bay is the way I see it is that if Bay is fit, Bay starts. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that, really. This whole thing of like, oh, he needs to be used to centre-back partnership, etc. Eric Bay gets injured, doesn't get injured, but when he comes back in, I can't remember a time when Eric Bay's come back from an injury. Is it like, how is it that he comes back from an injury and can drop like a masterclass? And you've got Lindelof and Maguire that play together all season, and they drop, oftentimes, not all the time, drop bombs. Although Maguire's improved, but for me, if you had Bay and sort of like a Herrera and prime Matic, we'd be challenging for the title, to be honest. Does the club see that? I don't think so. And if I'm honest, like I said, give everyone a heads up, I don't think that we're going to be going in for anybody other than Sancho this summer. That's my 2 cents. Good thing, man. Good thing. Keep at it. We'd like to see Man U. I'd like so too, if only just to banter some Liverpool fans and just see how they experience. I mean, to be fair to Liverpool, they will probably be the first English team to win the UEFA Conference League. Okay, they'll be the first English team to do that. So shout out to Liverpool. Shout out to them. Enjoy the UEFA Conference League next season. We'll be rooting for you in the Champions League, because it is what it is. I appreciate the start of this. Yeah, it was the start of the season, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. So yeah, August. Man, that feels like time flies, man. Time flies. I appreciate it now. Always a pleasure, Rich. I always like to support everyone as best I can. And I appreciate your support as well, man. Marion Dallas Marlins says Leicester get in top 4. I would be. Is that because they've scored? Have they? Have they got 2? Is it 2-1? No, it's still 1-1. No, I would be very surprised if Leicester. It's possible because they're bottling against Southampton, and also Leicester City. We have to, and also bear in mind, Leicester City have to play us, and I think Chelsea have to play Leicester as well. So, in theory, they could lose 6 of those points. So it's still. They needed to win here. Let's be real. They've not, and the fact that they have to play, I think Leicester have to play us, Chelsea, and Spurs. So, it's going to be difficult. Let's put it that way. So they should get it, but would I be surprised if they bottled it? No, not with their run or Chelsea's for that matter. I'm going to get into the team selection in a second, but I'm just going to go through your comments. Damien needs to see a 3-0 lubrication. I want to see, if we go into the team thing for a second, I'll just quickly finish before his comments. We need to win. Are we going to the EL final? Says Adam. Yes, we are. We are going to EL. There's no way that, Roma's defense. I'd say aside, Roma's defense was, shout out to Agent Smalling. Because I actually look back at the highlights. And to be honest, Smalling had a terrible game. I must eat my words when I said, man, how good is Harry Maguire compared to Smalling? But Smalling had a bad game. Like, at least, yes, the goalkeeper made some mistakes. You want and you remember the injuries, but he gave away the penalty. I think it was Cavani goal that he scored. He played him onside. He got done several times by Pogba. Like, he had a bad game. He really, really did have a bad game. Yeah, it just didn't work. Man says, Rich, but you're really winning to win. So I really don't want. I pray to the gods that PSG and Real Madrid get to the UCL final, because I really don't want to see City or Chelsea win the Champions League. It just can't happen. It really can't. Red Devil Weekly, shout out to you, mate. And remember, head over to his channel as well and subscribe. Push him to get to that 1K. A win in this game finishes their top 4 hopes. Will be Beavers condemn one of the best teams. Exactly. I mean, Red Devil, Red Weekly, you're even saying Europa League. I even think that flatters them. So UEFA Conference, not only the second tier of European competition, the third tier of European competition. That would be absolutely amazing. Because, I don't see, looking at this table again, Liverpool 6, but West Ham obviously above them, Spurs around there, Everton obviously. If Everton win their game in hand, Everton would go above Liverpool, which would put them in the UEFA Conference League, the 7th spot. And, Arsenal, Arsenal at this point are a banter club, really, not really relevant at all. Not really relevant at all. Vardy's just missed a sitter. Although, shout out to Kelechi, by the way. Shout out to Kelechi. Kobe, long time no see, bro. How you doing? I know Rich, I think, is starting his stream in about 12 minutes now from here, so please head over to that. I'm not going to be much longer, actually, as I go for the team. Do you think Green will play? I haven't been listening. No. I think he'll play. I think he'll come on as a substitute, but Ollie seems to be incessant on starting Rashford, who's clearly injured, and there's nothing from the press conference that I'm aware of that says that Rashford is injured. Let me know. Someone let me know. But as far as I'm aware, it would make sense. But against Liverpool, and given that he's a United boy and blah blah blah, and up for etc. That's why I think this team. If you see this team, I think that he'll go, with this team. Because I'll get the predictor 11 here. Before I get to some of the rest of your comments. Actually, let me go through them more so I can focus. Redwood says, wonder if the Conference League will be like the one in England where you have conference North. Oh man, Liverpool in the Northern Conference League of the UEFA. Man, I'm gonna be bantering Liverpool fans next season. I am going hard. I'm going hard at Liverpool fans next season. I really am, especially after that Thiago flop that they bought. Leicester can beat you. Leicester are beating Spurs. They can beat us, but yeah, they can. I'm not going to take it away from them that they can't. And especially because we focus on Europa League. But I still think it would be. It's not going to be easy. Mo, shout out to Mo. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Always a pleasure to see you. I've seen Pogba play on the right, and he's almost just as good. Why can't we try putting him there? That's a fair point, actually. That's a fair point. We could try playing Pogba on the right and putting Rashford back, because Rashford doesn't work on the. At certain games of the season, he wasn't that bad on the right. But to be honest, I just think Rashford's injured. I just think he's injured and needs a rest. That's why he's not been great for a while now. And it's because he's playing with an injury. He needs a rest. So for me, just play Greenwood there. Greenwood, Diallo, not James, but certainly either Greenwood, Diallo play on the right, please. Because Rashford is injured, and I am genuinely worried that Rashford's career is going to end the next 2 years, because he keeps on getting picked and played, and it's not working. It's really not. It's really not. Okay, so let me just quickly go for the team, and then we'll sound off. So obviously, I have Henderson in goal. I suspect that we obviously know the goalkeeping situation. Henderson, I think, is now United's number one. And can I be honest? De Gea is a much better shot stopper than Henderson, absolutely. But I do think that Henderson's distribution is better than De Gea's. De Gea's kicking and distribution it often puts us into trouble, in danger. I'm not saying Henderson is perfect. He's made some mistakes. He flaps, but I think he commands the box a lot more. Comes out to clear things up, and also he distributes the ball better. So I don't have a problem with Henderson being number one. He does deserve it. He is a good keeper. It is what it is. And I suppose that this means that he's, we've got the England situation as well. So anyway, Henderson's going to be in goal, I suspect, against Liverpool. The back four picks itself, I don't think you're going to see Eric Bailly or Telles, which is a shame. But I imagine that those players, I'd like to think that Ollie, now that we're basically got a 4-0 advantage, will basically play these men against Roma. Give them a run up. Give them some game time, please, Ollie. There's no reason why in Roma you can't play Telles, Van der Beek, Bay, Green from the start, Diallo. The tie is over. It's 4-0. Play those players. I want these guys to at least get a rest, please. So yeah, the back four is going to be the same. I don't think there's going to be change. Back four, back six is going to be the same because I think McPassion, McFred, they're definitely going to be there. Let's be real. And they played 3 games in a row. The engine room, they're going to play there. They are going to play there. It's simple. It's as simple as that. Bruno is obviously going to be a cam. And then, as I said, I suspect they're going to be Rashford. And then Pogba's obviously Martial. I think people have forgotten about Martial. Martial is still a United player. It's just he's injured for the rest of the season, pretty much, which is quite frustrating. So Pogba, who, to be honest, has been a breath of fresh air on the left, he plays like a winger because he actually looks up, he creates, he draws people around him, so he creates width, and he obviously creates chances, looks at passes. That's what I expect from our wingers. And I think one of the problems you've seen this season with Rashford and Greenwood is that, like I've said on previous streams, is that they're more inside forwards. They're more, they come inside. And so they don't create opportunities for our number 9, which in this case is obviously Cavani, which, hopefully he does extend. But, I want this situation, this right-hand side, in a way, what do you think, guys? In a way, if Sancho comes into this team here, if Sancho comes here, do you put Rashford back here? Do you put Martial? Does Pogba stay? Do you bring Pogba and then do you bring him back into the midfield? Because Pogba, one of the positives of Pogba being playing here is that he does go forward more, and I think the problem with Pogba being in the midfield is that when he played, especially with McTominay, he often didn't go forward. He had to drop back. He was held back. And I think that's a tactical thing. So we see more Pogba in the final third when he's on the left or in this position, So it is what it is, but this is why I think the United need a CDM so that we don't play these two together. A right winger will help to create chances. And I think that if you have a better centre back, let's say you put Bay in here, you put, maybe Van der Beek could hold. He didn't really do that, I expect. Maybe he could do it. And then Sancho, you've got an improvement to this team. Nicholas Campbell says, you're right, Brashy seems to be playing injured ever since that Wolves FA Cup game when Mata scored the winner. Hope he gets this because it always seems to be the same injury. This is one of my a few criticism when it comes to Ollie regards to rotation. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not rotated the squad well, in my opinion, and he hasn't given some of the players on the bench the game time. He needs to rotate. When we're hearing murmurings of likes of Telles and the likes of Van der Beek wanting to leave or going, we've been blessed that a lot of our players starting 11 haven't had long spell injuries. So it's important that we do rotate and get people involved, because what happens if because Pogba, thank God, he's been great first, but last season he was injured for quite some time, for several months. So what happens then if Pogba is injured? Then what happens? You've got to have a Van der Beek on call. What happens if Shaw's another player who got injured in the last couple of seasons? He was out for ages. So what are you going to do? You've got to bring intelligence. So this is why squad rotation is important. Keep players happy, keep them involved, because it wouldn't surprise me if next season Pogba or Shaw, who have thankfully been fit for a lot of parts of the season, get injured or pick up an injury. So we need to have the quality of depth to play. You know what I mean? Also, what he was almost going to hear, he wants 500k. 500k is insane. That's like $500,000 a week. He's not that good. He's not that good. But I do think that he should. I think the difficulty is it's the legacy of the Alexis Sanchez saga. Alexis Sanchez wasn't he on 400? I think Alexis Sanchez was on 400 or something like that. To be honest, it really goes to the ambition of Manchester United because would I mind Grealish coming here? But Pogba is world class, man, and you need to do everything you can to keep your players. And the thing is, yes, he'd get the 500k, but what I've seen from Pogba last season, and I don't know what, maybe it's Ollie's man management, but that he is, yes, you could say he's a mercenary, but he's a professional mercenary because he still plays very, very good performances, so it is what it is. Yep, head over to Rich's stream. He's about to start, and I'm about to finish, actually. That's what she said. Anyway, so yeah, Cavani obviously at top. I think he's going to play against Liverpool. I would be very surprised if we went with, we could go with a Pogba, Rashford, and Greenwood scenario. I wouldn't be so. In fact, there's a part of me that thinks that he might do that just simply because Cavani doesn't usually play 2 games in a week. And it's what happened at the weekend, and then Cavani came on. So it is possible that he might do that. Yeah, in fact, he probably might. In question to, I think, Kobe, who asked about FPL, I think he might actually play Rashford or Green up top, interchanging, because Cavani generally, when it comes to managing, doesn't play 2 games a week. Although, in my opinion, I would start Cavani and then rest him in the away. Cavani doesn't need to play against Roma in Rome. He doesn't. He can have rest. Shane 10, shout out to Shane 10, man. I think this game is more important to Liverpool. I think they will play very attacking because they need to win, which plays in their hands. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. This is a very good point, Shane. Very, very good point. Liverpool need to win if they want to have to keep the chance top 4 alive. And they need to come at us. And if they don't come at us, then we're done. So that even more adds to the fact that maybe he might go with, would you be surprised if he plays Greenwood, Daniel James, and Rashford? That wouldn't surprise me because he probably thinks that he can hit Liverpool in the break. It wouldn't surprise me at all, to be honest. Would I want that? No, because I think that we're just much. You've got to have at least one of. You've got to have at least Pogba, Cavani, and Fernandes are world class, and you've got to have at least two of those players in the team any one given time. Ideally, one that has Pogba in it. So I think you've got to fit in Pogba. Still got to fit in Pogba in somewhere. Although a part of me is like, oh, you've got to play a bit. It's Liverpool, but another part of me is like, at the end of the day, what's your goal for this season? The goal is to win a trophy. And at the end of the day, I don't want to go into a Europa League final without Paul Pogba, Cavani, and Bruno Fernandes. So if these guys need a rest or need a break, that they don't get injured, we do that. Do you think Ollie will retain a second England with Tellez by? He should. Whether he would or not remains to be seen, because I don't think he would. I remember the last time we had, I think it was at Sociedad, when we're 4-0 up, and he barely rotated, which I thought was wrong. He literally didn't. I think he played the same centre backs, So for me, he needs, he needs to rotate here. Hopefully, everyone likes the new sort of formation. When you see the pictures of players, let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, he needs to rotate. He should rotate. I want, at the very least, you don't have to change the whole team, but at the very least, you've got to play Van der Beek. You've got to play Tellez. You've got to play Bay. I would say make 4 changes. Bay, Tellez, Van der Beek, Diallo. That's it. It's just that unfortunately, because we still have Deadwood at the squad, Matic, they need game time, so they've got contracts. And obviously, we've got Daniel James, who I think needs a loan, to be honest, and maybe under a better coach, because he's 23 and I don't see the progression in his game, because right now it just seems to be kick and run, which isn't good enough in my opinion. I think Ollie will definitely play Pogba on the left. I don't want Rashford on the right. I think he's wasted. Yeah, I don't want Rashford on the right either. I want Rashford rested first and foremost, because I think that he needs he needs rest. He needs rest. And we're not managing him properly. And to make matters worse, it's probably going to go to Euros as well. It's frustrating. So just finally to wrap up, score predictions. So, a part of me says it's going to be a draw. But I can't remember the last time Liverpool did beat us at Old Trafford. It's a psychological thing. Even in our worst periods, they haven't beaten us there. And I think that Ollie will want to make a point. And I think that I also think it depends on how Klopp sets up. You know, whether he's going to play Fabinho as a centre back, all the rest of it. But Liverpool are there to be taken. And I think that we have now, you know, we're not going to win the Premier League title, so we should be able to at least play with a bit of freedom to try and do so, and obviously our pride. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Manchester United. That's what 2-1 to Manchester United. I think Pogba will score, and I think Bruno will score as well. So thank you guys so much for listening. Really appreciate everyone that got involved. Remember, you need to channel to like the vid, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United X, also on Twitch at Red Devil Studio, and from June onwards, I'll hopefully be doing more live match watch-alongs. So there will be a lot more content, non-Manchester United content after from next season going forwards. But stay tuned. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers.